All right, let's look at Genesis chapter 5. Genesis 25, sorry. Genesis chapter 25 is a transitional chapter where we transition from looking at Abraham to looking at Isaac. Once we are told that Isaac has found a wife in Rebekah, the story turns once more to Abraham. We are told that he takes another wife, Keturah, and that he has a number of sons by her as well. We are told further that he gives these sons gifts, but sends them to the east because all he owns ultimately is going to Isaac. Isaac is the sole inheritor of the promise and also the blessing. We're next told that Abraham dies when he was 175 years old. Ishmael comes back on the scene and, along with Isaac, buries their father in the same tomb as Sarah had been laid to rest. This paragraph ends with the statement that God blessed his son Isaac. However, the next section gives us a final overview of Ishmael. These verses tell of his offspring, and they serve to see the fulfillment of God's word spoken to Hagar. One, that he would be the father of 12 rulers, and that he would be the father of nations. And secondly, that his offspring would be at war with one another. And in this brief paragraph, we see that that is the case. So then he quickly moves to focusing on Isaac again. We see that Sarah and Rebekah shared a common problem, and that was that they were barren. But in this case, Isaac prays for Rebekah, and God opens up her womb, not having to wait decades like poor Sarah. And so she conceives, but the trick here is that she conceives twins. Rather than being one son, Rebekah has twins. And God pronounces that, unlike normal practice, the younger would be greater. The younger will bear the blessing of the promise, although this is not explicitly stated at this time, it's implied. We're told that these boys grow up. The older Esau is a man's man. He likes to hunt. He likes to be out in the fields, whereas Jacob is a homebody and he stays close to the tents. And we have this story about Esau coming back. He's been hunting, he's exhausted, he's famished, and he wants to have food right away. And Jacob says, I'll give you this food, but you have to sell me your birthright. And what we see here is that Esau is foolish and not valuing his birthright, and Jacob is he is a deceiver. And so that's very briefly the chapter we're going to be looking at this week.